You're listening to the Hoop With This On podcast, episode 20. And, for episode 20, we really should have come up with some special event to sort of commemorate that it was the 20th episode. Oh, wait! We're on location in Whistler, Canada, recording this podcast.
What?
That's right, bitches.
So, when you're
fucking talking about Canada right now, we're in Canada.
We are in Canada. When you're packing to go on a trip, sometimes you're packing and you're like, I hope I don't forget anything. I hope I don't get there and realize I don't have something I need. Well, we got here.
Oh shit, we forgot the host.
The Chris Lorenz.
TCL down for the count.
But I will say that your intro was way more mellow than the Chris Lorenz.
There's nothing mellow about the Chris Lorenz.
It's true. There was a lot less anger, I felt like.
We need that for the show.
We do need that passion he brings.
We do not have a host for this podcast, and I don't know what happens if you podcast without a host.
Ladies, if you like fiery passion, look no further.
It's not like this podcast.
Yes.
It's not like you can just start a podcast and just announce you're the host and be a host. It's way more complicated than that.
I feel like that's kind of exactly how it happened, though.
It takes decades of training and commitment to be a podcast host.
Full of shit over there. That's what you are.
There's a lot of skill involved in being the host. So we don't have a host. This podcast might just end after 5 minutes because we don't know what's happening. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
We're just gonna roll it. And is there a tape in this thing? Oh wait,
a tape?
Yeah,
there's definitely not a tape.
Did you put the tape in?
There's no tape.
You didn't put the tape in?
It's called a digital recording of a podcast.
Got it.
So I'm Robert Kitts, and as usual, I'm joined by
Harrison Hoffman.
James Rohal.
Fuck.
Didn't come up with a name there?
I got nothing.
Oh, no.
That's fine. His name is Fuck.
All right, Fuck.
So, Fuck, how's it going today, Fuck?
It's going great.
Oh man, he had a couple of too many Wildcat Strongs, I think.
We all had too many Wildcat Strongs.
We are drinking a beer that has. Is that like a cougar? What's on the front?
It's a Wildcat, you idiot!
Yeah.
What else would it be? It's Wildcat Strong.
Okay, but it's like a wildcat like an actual species of animal, or is that just like a classification of a bunch of animals, including a cougar?
My understanding is a cougar and a puma and a mountain lion are the same animal.
What does that mean?
It's varied by
Really?
region or some shit.
It's same name or different name, same animal.
Okay, so what's a wildcat?
It's a cat that lives in the wild.
Because I feel like a wildcat's a descriptor for like a bunch of different types of wild cats.
Like, would you see a feral cat, just a tabby down the street, and you're like, yeah, it's a wildcat?
No, but I think that a wildcat's like kind of what you just said, like a cougar or a puma or a,
Hold on.
Oh, shit. Sorry. I thought the beer can was a mic for a second.
They can't hear you.
And then I realized it was not.
If you don't talk in the
I
microphone.
just grabbed one of the cans here. So it's Wildcat Strong. La Brazier Le Bat Brewing Company.
I'm pretty sure that doesn't say La Brazier on the can.
Shut your face.
La
It's
Brasserie.
a 6.1 alcohol by volume. 355 milliliters because we're in Canada. And we use the metric system now. And there's a big, giant picture of a fucking big-ass cat in some mountains. And it just says Wildcat Strong. I feel like I need like
Strong is all you need to know.
Fucking need like some tobacco with this beer or something.
Probably.
What does that mean?
Chewing tobacco.
So you need some tobacco with this beer.
Look at that beer can, man. That thing's fucking nuts.
Have we talked about the show we're watching this week
No.
yet?
No,
Is there a show?
I think it's time for Harrison to fill us in. Since we're in Canada, what show are we watching, Harrison?
This week we are watching Canada's Worst Handyman. We watched the first episode of Season 4 because those are available for free on YouTube, so you guys can watch that on YouTube. If you haven't watched the show yet, go on YouTube right now, stop the podcast, and then come back once you've seen it, because this show is pretty crazy.
I mean, it's questionable.
In each season, 5 contestants and their nominators arrive at the Handyman Rehabilitation Center where they partake in a 3-week renovation project there, consisting of challenges that are designed to improve the contestants' handyman skills. Each contestant and nominator pair are assigned color-coded workplaces and otherwise work separately on their respective projects. Prior to entering the Handyman Rehabilitation Center, each contestant performs a challenge in their own home to be aired in the first episode. This is colloquially referred to as the Home Challenge. Canada's Worst Handyman on
YouTube.
what channel?
YouTube.
YouTube
On
was the
YouTube.
channel we were watching this on.
Xbox, go to YouTube.
On the Discovery Channel.
It didn't do it. Fuck. We didn't have
Discovery
it connect.
Canada?
On Discovery Canada.
Wow.
Okay.
Hosted by Andrew Younghusband.
No, you're fucking making that
That's
up.
No,
his
that's
name.
for real.
His name is Andrew Younghusband.
What else has this guy done? Click his name.
Andrew Younghusband has hosted Canada's Worst Driver, Canada's Worst Handyman, as well as the documentary series Tall Ship Chronicles.
What the hell is Tall Ship Chronicles? It's like a big boat? Like, what the...
Tall Ship. Do you want to hear about
Yeah,
Tall
I
Ship
do want to hear
Chronicles?
about Tall
Some
Ship
sort of
Chronicles,
boat
actually.
show?
Tall Ship Chronicles was a television series produced in Canada in 2001-2002. It followed the training of Canadian journalist and actor Andrew Younghusband on an 18-month sail training voyage across the world on a ship, I guess.
why
on
the
a
hell is
tall
it-
ship.
Why the hell is it called Tall Ship?
Because he was on a tall ship.
It's real tall.
How tall?
Oh, I guess it's a sailboat, so
Yeah,
the sail's
it's
real
like one
tall?
of those big, tall sailboats. It's a tall ship.
Yeah, like picture like a Pirates of the Caribbean kind of sailboat.
Sure.
Like, it's a
I'm
tall ship.
just picturing Johnny Depp with an eye patch.
You can picture
I don't
that.
think that Johnny Depp wore an eye patch in these
He
movies.
definitely did not.
But what if you did?
Here's the
That'd
ship
be very
that he was
piratey.
on.
The Black Pearl?
So,
That's-
so
He was
one
on
thing I want to say
Black
about
Pearl, yeah.
Andrew Youngblood is the very
Oh,
first
okay,
thing
that
he
is a
says
tall
in
ship.
the
Young
show.
Husband, not Young Blood.
Andrew Youngblood.
Young Blood is like a rapper name. Yo, Young Blood.
Andrew Younghusband. So one
That
of
was
the
the
very
least
first things he says in the
rapperish way
episode-
you could have said that.
I'm very white.
One of the very first things he said in the episode is like, "This is Canada's Worst Handyman, season 4." And he says it like he cannot believe he still has to do this stupid show.
Yeah.
No one can believe that this show's still on.
The show, did it just direct to YouTube or was it ever on TV?
This show must be the most inexpensive show ever to make. It's like they rented or bought
They
some
got like 3 cameras.
rundown house. They got a couple cameras and they just like put a bunch of terrible handymen in there. Just like build some stuff in this house.
You don't think Andrew Younghusband was an expensive get?
I think that Andrew Younghusband was relatively inexpensive.
They should rename the show Canada's Worst Show.
I don't know.
I feel like there's got to be some way worse shit than this.
I think looking super cheap is kind of like a hallmark of a Canadian show, actually. It doesn't really have the base of financing, of advertising financing that the U.S. has. So Canadian shows tend to look like pretty inexpensive to film.
So as we were researching a Canadian show to do for this episode, we kind of found that most Canadian reality shows are kind of different versions of U.S. reality shows. But Rob, having seen a bunch of these, probably are they like just cheaper looking versions of U.S. shows in a lot of cases, or
Pretty much.
okay?
Like, you'll have your Canadian Idol, your Amazing Race Canada, your Canada's Next Top Model.
So for,
I said that last one as a joke, and he's like, "Yep, that's a real thing."
It's
So-
definitely a real thing.
So for like Canadian Idol, like who are the judges? Do you have like Alanis Morissette like judging, or like who's
they definitely don't get Alanis Morissette. That's way too out of their league.
okay?
But like they'll definitely have like the angry British guy and the female pop star
Sure.
and the African American. Like they're
Robin
clearly
Sparkles.
following the sort of same. I don't know what the word for it would be, like archetypes of
Got
each
it.
one. So like it's clearly following, and then usually they add a fourth one.
Is it archetype or archetype?
I think it might be archetype, but
Is that a Canadianism?
I don't think it's a Canadianism.
Okay.
I think it's just a word in the English language.
Can we rewind the tape? What is archetype?
That was me not remembering what the name of the word was and just saying a random.
So
thing that was
archetypes,
wrong.
it's like a type of person that like fills a role. That's
Archetype?
Like, it's like defined. Yeah.
Archetype is like a genre for a person. So, like, take American Idol, where you got who's that British dude who's an asshole?
Simon Cowell.
You got
All right,
Simon
I mean,
Cowell.
yeah, I mean, I got
You
I got
Paula
Rob's
Abdul,
point. Like,
you got that black dude.
but that word is actually archetype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that right.
Yeah,
like I'm not losing my
archetype,
mind.
I pronounced the word wrong. Is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So why are you thinking that it's something other than archetype, James?
It just sounds like you made that word up. It sounds like you don't know how to say architect.
The word's not architect.
Archetype?
Archetype.
All right. I mean, we should probably keep it rolling, but I just don't believe that that's a word.
It's a word for sure.
Should we play the James Rohall spelling game?
Oh shit, an archetype?
We got an anagram.
Is it like
for that?
archetype, like ARCO type?
It is not ARCO
It
type.
is not.
Oh man.
Jonas?
Archetype is Wildcat Strong, let me tell you.
Wildcat.
Wildcat.
So, Max, tell us a little bit more about the show.
Fuck.
No, that's
Do you
your
not
name.
remember what happened in the show?
That's just your name. We want to know about the show.
So they
I don't know.
introduced the 5 like contestants, and they're all pretty shitty. And okay. First activity on the show is everybody goes to the Home Depot, except the Home Depot is called Canadian Tire, which you would expect to be a tire store, but no, it's like a Home Depot or a Lowe's if you're into that.
Because someone did a bad job with naming that store if it's not a tire store.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. You can get tires at Canadian Tire, but
Sure.
you can get a lot of other things at Canadian Tire.
That's true, but like that's an insane thing to name. I mean, because you can call any grocery store like, Ultimate Broccoli Store, and like that's, they sell more things than broccoli, right?
Well,
It's true.
would you ever go to a store? It's called Ultimate Broccoli Store.
Absolutely not. Why would anyone go to that
This
store?
is a,
It's like a store for vegans, maybe. Ultimate Broccoli Store?
okay, fair.
Canadian Tire
Maybe.
is almost like a cultural institution.
Okay, so it's like a long-standing kind of Canadian
Like,
company.
is there a store in the U.S. where it's like, if you don't want to shop at that store, you hate America?
Like Walmart, probably.
Lots of
I-
people don't shop at Walmart.
A lot of
I
people
have
don't like
lots
never
of people
been to a Walmart.
You've never been to a Walmart?
They don't have Walmarts around New York, New Jersey.
I guess, but like you've never been to a Walmart in your entire life?
No, I've been to a Sam's Club. Never a Walmart.
I guess
That's
Sam's Club's owned by
close.
the same people, but
Yeah. Sam Walmart.
Sam Walmart, yeah. That's his name.
So
Uh,
I guess Walmart's the closest thing, but like there's two. I would say there's two. Maybe there's more than two. There's definitely two chains in Canada where it's like if you don't want to shop there, you hate Canada. One is Tim Hortons, where you get your coffee and
Yep.
donuts, and the other is Canadian Tire. Like it's like a thing to go to Canadian Tire and buy like whatever you need because there's a million things at Canadian Tire.
So is it stocked like a Walmart or Target kind of thing? Like they just have freaking
It's Home
everything?
Depot, I think.
No,
right?
it's Target plus Home Depot in one store.
Oh shit! But also groceries?
No.
Okay, so Walmart minus groceries.
Target has groceries.
Replace the groceries with Home Depot.
Yes.
Got it.
Well,
Okay.
I guess Target has groceries, right?
Some Targets have groceries.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like the U.S. doesn't have as much nationalism as Canada because I feel like there's not one specific store chain or business that all of the U.S. would just be like, you got to go here because
Like-
there's always going to be like your, contrarians and people
It's
in
true.
the
Yeah.
U.S. who don't want to buy into that, right?
That's true.
I don't know.
7-Eleven?
Got to go to 7-Eleven.
I mean, who doesn't want to go to 7-Eleven and get Slurpees?
Slurpees, yeah, sure.
7-Eleven might be close. 7-Eleven is more in the Tim Hortons range than the Canadian Tire range. But
I mean, I feel
that's
like-
a good example.
I mean, I feel like McDonald's is kind of in that Tim Hortons
Yeah,
sort of range, right?
McDonald's for sure. That's a pretty like
McDonald's is a good one,
American
too. Yeah.
sort of fast food staple.
The only thing about McDonald's is in every country in the world. Which
for
kind
sure,
of-
for sure.
I guess that's fair.
But like, you're definitely thinking like America when you go to a McDonald's, right?
Oh, for sure. That's
You
a
know.
great point.
This
Yeah.
may just be me. Actually, it's probably just me. Never mind.
Say it.
Say it.
Yo, fuck, what you got?
Ben and Jerry's.
Okay.
Pretty American. People
pretty-
like it.
It's pretty American.
It's not like if you don't like this place, you're not American.
I mean, I feel like it might not be as widespread as Canadian Tire.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same cultural place as Canadian Tire. But like, another thing about Canadian Tire is they like came up with rewards programs a really long time ago. Their way to do rewards programs is they give you fake money called Canadian Tire money.
Wow.
Is that what it's called?
It's totally called Canadian Tire money. And people are weirdly like obsessed with Canadian Tire money, like it's like a real currency.
Like,
And it's
do they
kinda
collect
frightening.
it and shit, or just like?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really? So it's like, oh man, you got Canadian Tire money from like 1903. Shit, yeah, I better keep on holding on that.
Supposedly, people have like visited places where they put different kind of bills on their wall to sort of be like show like all the different kind of people being there, and people put up Canadian Tire money as Canadian money. And people are like, "That's so great! They had Canadian Tire money to represent Canada." It's like, why is that great? I don't know.
That's pretty good though.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
So how did we? I don't know what's going on with the show. Oh yeah, they had to buy a bunch of shit, right?
They had to buy 260 something.
69.
269.
You know, why didn't they just make that 270 or 300? I don't
Canadian
know.
Tire
Because it has 69 in it.
I guess
in 2 hours. So they
that's a shit. First off, that's a shit ton of items in 2 hours.
It is.
I don't know
That is
that like
more
than
like
two
most
items.
anybody.
They
Per
intentionally
minute.
made it very hard for them to buy all the things they need because they wanted to make it funny. So they like, give them this binder of all this shit they need to buy in 2 hours, and it's 269 different items. And needless to say, a lot of these people
Didn't even come
didn't
close.
get it done.
Somebody just missed like 100 things.
Yeah.
It's gonna be real interesting to see how they're gonna tackle the challenge. So also, these are all the items they're gonna need for like the rest of the series, right? Like the
Yeah.
rest of the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like this person's got like 100 things they don't have.
So if they had to buy like 8 of one thing, did that count as 8 things or one thing? And they're listed
Ooh,
269
interesting
things?
point.
It
It's
was
probably per package.
super clear.
I get the feeling that it's like it was if you have to get 8 of something, that's 8 because that's how they got it up to 269.
Yeah.
But it's feasible to get in 2 hours because you get to the shelf and you just throw 8 in your cart and you're like, oh, that's
Sure.
8.
So
Sure.
did this count like things like wood?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Holy shit! So like, what if you just didn't get enough wood?
Then too
You
bad.
just that one dude just building everything out of fucking 2x4s. You can't build everything with a 2x4, man.
Whoa,
Well, then that guy
is
was
not
stocking
true.
up on the 2x4s, probably.
No, he was using them all in the very first challenge.
Yeah, but maybe he just bought a shit ton of them because they've been $4,000.
He's like, oh, they said you can only get 8 2x4s. He's like, I'm gonna get all 2x4s.
get 80. Yeah.
James, you can literally build anything out of 2x4s.
That dude was building fucking everything out of 2x4s and just nailing them together. The goddamn hammer.
So that was one of the Bryans who's like his problem is he wants to super reinforce every single thing he builds for no good reason.
And he doesn't do a very good job.
He's
of
like,
it.
No, he,
Yeah, that-
he
you know,
has to reinforce them because they're just badly built to begin with.
It's true. It's like, yeah, that looks like he could use a couple support beams. And everyone's like, ooh, yeah, that's a yeah.
So here's the big thing that I didn't really like about this show is that, you know, these people all had someone who kind of nominated them to be on the show, whether it was like their spouse or their friend or whatever. And instead of just being the person who nominated them to be on the show, which in a lot of cases is a dick move, which is like, you know, hey, my husband's really bad and gets really nervous about building stuff. Let me put him on this reality show. So first of all, it's a dick move. And second, for some reason, their nominator gets to also be on the show and like occasionally helps out. Like I feel like I want to see these terrible handymen just be terrible handymen on their own and not kind of get helped out by their nominators. Like that part of it is kind of weird for me.
That part's terrible. The thing that really sucks, though, these people just aren't handyman. They just don't know what the fuck they're doing. So
Well,
it's
that's
not
why
like
they're
they're
the
the
worst
worst handyman.
ones.
They're just you know normal people that don't use tools.
No, but like I think that like the whole thing is that these people try to
They like try
build
to take
things in
these
their
on.
house and they just are really bad at it. Right?
Okay.
Wouldn't it be more politically correct if this was Canada's worst handy person?
Handy people. Yeah, that's true.
Well, they have Angie on the show as one of the contestants.
One
Yeah.
girl. Yeah.
And she's down in the basement all by herself.
No, she got out of the basement.
Oh, she did?
She got moved. Yeah, because she
Ah.
didn't like the basement.
No, who would?
But then, like, some dude was
They
in the
put
room
Eric in
before
the
her
basement.
and like busted a radiator or something.
So yeah, that's real dangerous. If you touch that wire, your feet are grounded. You're just gonna fucking get
Be
electrocuted.
dead. Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah. Eric messed up her room, then swapped rooms, and then they bring Eric back and be like, "What'd you do to this radiator?"
Oh no!
So it's unclear to me. Are they sleeping in the room?
I don't
think
think
so.
so.
Because like
There's
the
no
first
bed in
thing some of
there.
these guys did, they started demolitioning the fucking bathroom. Like, how are these people gonna take a shower?
Like there's been nothing explained to the show by these people, and they just walk in the bathroom, sort of ripping the sink off the wall and stuff. They're just like, I don't know, I'll probably have to fix this at some point. Let me rip it off the wall.
They definitely have to fix it at some point. I think he's right about that part. But the
Yeah.
ripping it off the wall first thing was not really the right move.
It was very not explained to me unless I missed it. But I didn't catch why they were just taking a sledgehammer to the goddamn sink.
Yeah.
It was not. It was just basically like this person's crazy, and this is what they just started doing when they got in the room.
Man,
This is their first thought.
Not
I
advisable.
can't believe somebody hasn't cut their hand off on this show yet.
There are a lot of circular saws and
Hey,
people who don't know how to use them.
Just unwieldy, spinning them around.
In the this season on, we definitely saw someone's hand getting bleeding really bad.
That didn't look nearly. That one girl was just circular sawing like a 2x4, and just like it got going a little crazy. She got all the way through it and just started like throwing her arms around with it. It's just like, and it still runs. Bzzz. I'm like, oh my god.
So admittedly, circ saws have this sort of guard on them if it's not going through wood currently, but nonetheless, not a very good situation.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that someone on the show has had some kind of extremity like cut off. Like it has to
Like
it,
the dude
cut off?
fucking with a
we're already in season
hacksaw,
4.
cutting it on top of the piano.
Yeah, I mean, we're already in season 4. There's some really dodgy stuff happening. I feel like it's probably happened at some point.
Like, if someone actually cut off an extremity, would they let them do season 4 if that happened in the first?
Maybe. I mean, the insurance would be a little bit higher.
Quick
Nobody's
poll,
died.
What is the worst extremity to cut off? Obviously, not any genitalia.
The worst
Well, that
extremity
is
to cut
the
off?
worst one. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
so the thing
Prob-
is, everybody would
So
choose
aside from
that.
that-
So
Probably your head. That seems really bad to cut off.
is your head an
I
extremity?
don't know.
I don't think your head.
I feel like by
counts as
definition,
extremity.
it's not an extremity.
What's the definition of an extremity?
No, some extra.
Well, we're
Some extra.
extremities are arms and legs.
Okay.
The basic question comes down to: would you rather lose your non-dominant hand or a
Left,
foot?
right hand,
That's
left,
basically
right
what it
foot.
comes
I
down
would
to.
definitely rather lose my non-dominant hand than a leg, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you get a peg leg if you use a leg, and you're kind of cool.
I
we can
guess
call
that's
you
true.
Peggy.
Yeah, but I want to go skiing.
People do. You can go skiing with those the fake legs. Like there's Super Bowl commercials about how awesome people with fake legs doing like Olympic sports are.
For sure.
Well, you get one like one of those Star Wars hands if you cut off your hand, though. Right?
like a
Are those
lightsaber?
real?
There's also Super Bowl
Maybe.
It'd be real
commercials.
dangerous just running around with a lightsaber hand.
It's not a lightsaber.
No,
that
it's
he's talking
like
about.
no, like you know in Star Wars when Luke gets his hand cut off and they replace
Spoiler
it.
alert.
Oh.
Spoiler
Wow.
alert for a
Wow.
movie from the 80s. Luke gets his hand cut off and then he gets it replaced with like a mechanical sort of hand, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So that's
So-
what I'm talking about.
Okay.
There's also Super Bowl commercials about like dancing hamsters driving Kias.
It's true.
What's your point?
I'm saying that the cool people doing sports, even though they're handicapped, clearly not real.
What?
Oh,
No,
man.
man, we saw that guy fucking like a
Yeah,
dude that was like couldn't
that's
move
true.
his legs. Was on like the like adaptive skiing thing.
Monoski.
Yeah, monoski.
That
Looked
was
real cool.
So
yeah.
much fun.
Yeah.
While we were snowboard lessoning.
Yeah, it's super crazy to see people in those mono skis.
Yeah.
Like,
It looks super fun actually. Like
It looks
pretty
cool,
cool.
yeah.
Yep.
He was killing it. Like he was trucking.
Man, that'd be so. Like, I feel like when you fall on that thing, it's gonna be a real bad situation.
Yeah, I don't know how you like keep that thing up. Like so, it's like mono ski under your body, and then you have like little skis in your hands.
Your hands, yeah.
And like it looks like you're just about to flip and eat it any point in time, but like it must not be that hard. Like it looks like it's pretty doable.
I
This
don't
gets
know.
back to your point, though. Would you rather lose your non-dominant hand or a leg?
Non-dominant
Oh, God.
hands.
Probably hand.
But then
Ooh.
if you lose the leg, you can still monoski.
Oh, but if I lost my non-dominant hand, how would I play video games?
That's
There
a
you
great
go.
point.
Oh shit.
Shit.
Also, typing be a real bitch.
Also, yeah, it's true.
Damn it. I mean, both. This is terrible. Why did we
All
get
right,
on this
I'm on
conversation?
losing, if I got to lose one, I'm going to lose leg. It worked for James Franco, so I think it can work for me.
I thought that was his arm, man.
It was his arm.
In 127 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was totally his arm.
I'm
Also
still
in
sticking with
Freaks and
leg.
Geeks.
Okay, if you had to cut off any limb with a pocket knife, which would it be?
Oh
Oh
shit,
no.
I'm sticking with leg.
That'd be so
Oh,
hard to cut your leg
God.
off with a pocket knife.
dude! That'd be so bad in anything.
Let's
oh,
be real.
God.
If I had to cut a limb off with a pocket knife or die, I'm just going to die.
It would be really hard to do that. Oh my
I don't know
God.
how you cut through bone.
With a pocket knife.
Your own bone.
You don't
Yeah,
cut through
it's
bone.
pretty
You got to
serious.
You
go
probably
around
like
the bone.
cut the
no, but it's like you have to
joint.
cut the bone off, or do you like cut it like at a
No,
joint?
you cut at the joint.
Yeah.
Ugh.
God, that's,
I don't know
oh
about
my
that.
You got to
God.
cut through the bone with a pocket knife. You're just failing.
You're done.
The only way to do it is cut
I
through
feel like
joint.
the second I like pierce myself, it's just I'm passed out,
No,
Yeah,
for
but
me
then-
too.
and then I wake up again. I'm like, shod again. It's
Right,
done.
yeah. So you keep on passing out and waking up, but then you have it like until you starve to death or whatever
no,
to
no,
do
Yeah.
it,
The
right?
thing is, he's already cut himself, so he's bleeding out. While
Right, I'm
Sure.
just bleeding out all
That's
that's happening.
right, yes.
Like then you get to like some of the muscle fibers and
Well, I
stuff.
guess you
Oh
could
yeah,
kind of
it's done.
tourniquet the thing, and maybe you'd be okay.
I guess.
You have to. I mean, he did that in the movie, and I think the real guy also did that
I guess
in real
I
life.
didn't see that movie.
'Cause it was based on a
Spoilers.
real thing.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler.
He
It's
gets
a
his
that
arm
movie
caught
takes a
in
turn for the
rock.
worst. You think it's just a nice day, guy going out for a jog in the canyons. Next thing you know, it's 127 hours of
Can you
shit.
imagine going to see that movie and not knowing what it's about? Like,
Oh man,
Who went to see that movie and didn't know what it was about?
like no one, but I'm sure a couple people probably did.
it's like new James Franco movie.
Like, what the fuck is this?
You think somebody halfway is like, where the fuck is Seth Rogen?
Yeah,
Probably.
You think it's Pineapple Express too?
Yeah.
Then someone just cuts their arm off.
Oh
It's a
god.
rough movie.
Although Pineapple Express, there was probably some limbs severed or something going on in that movie.
Pineapple Express? I don't think so.
I don't know. When he's kicking through that police car with his foot, I guess that wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But depends how it's played. If it's played for laughs versus, I feel in 127 hours it wasn't really played for laughs.
No, not
It
at
was
all.
like, look at that guy cutting off his arm. It's
For the
hilarious.
whole movie.
Comedy
man.
of the year.
Oh my god.
God.
You guys are terrible. Terrible people.
My dad, I have no idea if this story is true or not, but he would tell this story that when he was in high school, he was taking some shop class, and some dude in his class cut his arm off with a table saw.
Holy shit.
Class? No.
Yeah.
So like that's literally what we're talking about on this show.
No, yeah, it's like-
and that
it's
just
like-
happened.
Yeah, it's he's trying to cut a piece of wood on a table saw in shop class. He's like, whoop! And just cut his whole arm off.
Oh no.
Oh god. What even happens in that
Go
scenario?
to the hospital, I guess.
Did they put the arm back on?
I'm not sure.
I don't think you can
no.
reattach arms.
Yeah, maybe.
If you can get it to the hospital fast enough in the right
Like,
conditions,
reattach
you
the,
can
like-
reattach stuff.
It probably
Yeah.
won't be as functional.
You might be kind of fucked up, but
I don't know the rules about how. I know you can reattach things if you do it
yeah,
fast.
I don't know about whole arms.
I mean,
I
it's
know about fingers and stuff, but arm.
So,
shit.
So the entire time I was watching this show and watching them use those circus shows, I'm like, someone's about to cut their arm off with that thing.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Oh my! What do you even do if you're in the classes that? What did your dad
Oh,
do?
no.
It's like, what the shit?
Yeah, it'd be
Dude
terrible.
just cut his arm off.
It'd be super traumatic. I feel like
Do you stay in school the rest of the day? Do you
you
go to
know-
lunch after that? It's second period. You're like, I guess we
Some
go to
guy
lunch
just
now.
cut his arm off.
Yeah.
So do you think that everyone just gets an A in that class? Because
You have
are you
to.
actually going to go and have to use that table saw?
I'm
after
not
that
using that
happens?
goddamn tables off for
You
shit.
go to the guy who just cut his arm off. Be like, you gotta finish this project. You're getting an F.
Oh no.
Oh man, what grade do you think that guy got in the class?
F.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I mean, if you cut your arm off in shop, you cannot get an A in shop.
Oh, no.
Clearly, you didn't learn.
Oh my god! So you think he got a B?
No.
What definition?
That kid felt so bad he
Um,
cut his arm off, man. You can't say that.
Succeeding in the class
Jesus.
includes cutting your own arm
Oh
off.
my
There's
God.
no. That's a Venn diagram. That's empty set. There's
I'm
no,
just saying, there's
100%.
there's some amount of points you get back for
Yeah,
I
sympathy.
you're at
guess.
0, and then you
Right.
get 40% of sympathy points. You still fail. The
No
class.
man, no. Oh my god, it's so bad.
So you think he cut his arm off and he got an A in the class?
No, I just don't. I
Are you
don't know what he
encouraging
got.
Anyone worried about their shop mark
Holy
just cut
shit.
their arm off.
Do not do that. That is not a good idea.
Because they might be able to reattach it. Okay, before you cut your arm off, make sure you have a cooler of ice nearby. So you cut the
Why
thing
are you
off,
advising
pop it in
people
the cooler.
of
911
the show
first. They're
to cut the
already on the
goddamn
way.
arms off?
Yeah. Good times.
Fucking
I got
crazies
an
over
A.
there.
My arm's still working. Good to go.
Wow,
Oh my god.
that is traumatic.
Yeah, that must have been terrible.
So back to the show.
So back to archetype.
No. So the whole thing about someone nominating them, and one of the people, I think it was one of the Bryans. There's 2 Bryans, which makes it even more confusing. Was their families who just hire someone to come fix your bathroom, and he's like, no, I can do it myself, even though he can't. Which okay, you nominate that person to be like, we're gonna put you on a show to show you how bad you are. So either
Sure.
A, you'll realize you're bad, or B, you'll get better, and hopefully you can actually fix the bathroom one way or the other.
So does Canada have a big kind of do-it-yourself culture? Because I feel like a lot of the stuff that these people are having trouble with in the U.S., they just hire someone to do, I guess.
Well, like in Seattle, people would hire someone to do, but like I feel like in the Midwest, people just like do it themselves.
Freestyle,
too.
yeah.
Maybe they're better at it.
They might be better at it.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
I
to be
feel
fair,
both
there's a lot of
countries have a
there's a lot of
do-it-yourself kind of
do-it-yourselfers.
I guess, yeah.
It's just not, I think it's more of the people that are buying their own home sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's not like, when you're living in a condo.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it depends on your economic status on whether you're going to hire someone to fix all that shit or just
Yeah.
try to do it yourself, right?
I think a prerequisite for being on the show is to own your own home. So that
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you're doing and failing at your own home renovation.
You're not like
projects.
living in an apartment and just trying to remodel the apartment on your own.
Yeah,
Obviously.
Right, okay.
Oh,
like-
they should totally have the Jonas Brothers on this show.
Oh, yeah, the contractor, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that
Wait, which brothers?
is that Kevin?
Jonas?
Oh, okay.
Jonas?
I know who you're talking about now.
Kevin
Yep.
Jonas? Yeah, are the Jonas Brothers Canadian? I think they might be.
I didn't think so.
I don't think
I think
so.
the Jonas Brothers might be Canadian.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
Who cares?
Who cares? I
Biebs
care.
is
is Canadian. I don't know. If
Yeah,
the Jonas
Biebs
Brothers.
is Canadian.
Big Beepsta.
I don't think they're Canadian.
They should get the Biebs to be a judge on Canadian Idol. He'd be a pretty good judge, probably.
Judge of what?
Judge a
of
character?
Canadian Idol.
Oh, God.
But so some of the people on the show seem like that, but other people that are nominated, like the Johnny, and like maybe it's just the show was portraying him a certain way, but it really seemed like he just has a serious like mental illness about handiwork and like
Oh,
he has
for
a
sure.
serious phobia about it, and his wife is just like, I'm tired of doing all this work. You got to help out and do it. So we're going to go on this show to like get you to start helping out more.
Dude
That
doesn't
didn't
know what
seem
vice
okay.
grips are.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely felt bad for Johnny. It seemed like doing this kind of work just made him super nervous and like just,
Anxiety. He's just stressed out.
Yeah.
Jonas Brothers are from New Jersey.
Oh, not at all.
American pop rock group.
I mean, I guess that's why he was
Where
on
in New
Real
Jersey?
Housewives of New Jersey, right?
That is right. Where in New Jersey? Wyckoff?
Wyckoff,
Wyckoff.
I've heard of it.
Wyckoff, New Jersey.
Tell us a little bit about Wyckoff, New Jersey, Max.
I think it's south of Bergen County. That's all I know.
Great.
Great.
Huh.
Is it Jersey Shore or not Jersey Shore?
Not Jersey Shore.
There's more to Jersey than the Jersey Shore, Rob.
Is it more Jersey Shore or Real Housewives of New Jersey?
Much more Real Housewives. I mean, they were on Real Housewives.
So, question on the show.
Hold on.
It's called Worst Canadian Handyman. So, if you win the show, are you the worst?
It's not called
Or are you
Worst
the
Canadian
best of the
Handyman.
worst?
It's Worst Canadian Handyman.
No, it's Canada's Worst Handyman.
Whatever. It's just a fucking
Season
dumb
4.
shit, whatever. I
We
don't
don't
know.
even know the name of the show. What are we doing? Where's our host?
Oh, off the rails.
TCL is gone.
TCL or TCCL?
Who knows? Nobody. I think it's
Taking care of
TCCL.
Chris Lawrence.
Yeah, it can't be just TCL.
I tore my TCL.
So I think at the end they're gonna announce who's Canada's worst handyman, and they're the winner, but they lose. But they also give a winner for who did the best.
So you think the competition is like the worst one at the end of this thing still?
No, so they already found the worst one in this episode, which was the first guy kicked off, I think.
No one gets.
He wasn't kicked off.
They just put his picture up.
No,
so
like-
next week when they're doing the projects, he used to see a picture of him being like, "You were the worst."
No, I'm
hang
pretty
on
sure
the
that guy
wall.
was kicked off.
He's definitely not kicked off.
Really?
He's not
like
kicked
he's
off.
still on the show?
There's only 5. There's way more than 4 episodes. They're
Yep.
not kicking off someone every week.
Right.
So what was the thing like? The thing that it said above his picture, it said like it's like you're bad at this. It was something like
I
that.
think it said
right?
like needs more work or something.
yeah. It was like so the like very last thing in the show is like, hey, you did the worst this week. You have to hang your picture under this thing that says like you're terrible at fixing stuff or whatever.
It's a walk of shame for being a handyman.
But like the ridiculous thing is that they actually have to figure out how to hang up the picture under it. So he's incapable of hanging up the picture under
He
it.
took a fucking screw and drilled right through the top of the photo.
He needed a lot
What
of
the
help hanging up
fuck?
that photo, which is why he's the worst.
That guy is definitely Canada's worst handyman.
Well, we'll see. There's
right.
a whole
Are
season.
we
He was the worst this week.
Well, we are not going to see. Let's be real.
Well, I mean,
Like, the
obviously
thing
not.
is, they're not helping the guys. Not really.
No,
well, they
there
brought
was.
in the 2 experts, and like the experts are like, "This is what you need to do." And some of them seem to do. So The final project they had this episode was to sort of put up some shelves, and the experts show them exactly what they need to do to hang up the shelves. And none of them seemed to do it exactly right, but a couple of them like hung the shelves, and the host had to sit on their shelves, and it worked, and they were given a pass. So it seems like some of them like did a little better.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like Johnny learned from the instructors and was able to actually make shelves.
I feel like the instructors, the experts, weren't very hands-on. They were no Dr. Strawberry.
Who's Dr.
Dr.
Strawberry?
Pepper? Is that what you
Dr.
mean?
Pepper.
How do you get from Dr. Pepper to Dr. Strawberry?
I thought Dr. Pepper was too ridiculous.
It was too ridiculous. That's why it was so great.
Oh my god.
Anything else on this show?
Do we? Where does this show rank? Is this in the top third, bottom third, or middle third?
I mean, it was mildly entertaining. I feel like that was probably a solid middle third show for me.
This is a lower third show for me.
Really?
It felt like America's Funniest Home Videos if it weren't American and if it weren't funny.
Yeah,
It was kind of funny.
Sure.
James, you're shaking your head. What's your verdict?
It's pretty poor. I think it's definitely in the worst bucket, but maybe mid to upper tier of the worst bucket.
Mid to upper tier of the worst bucket.
Well, it's not the worst show we've seen,
Right. That's the Celebrity Apprentice, yeah.
right?
Okay.
Because it's unwatchable.
Unwatchable.
This was, mostly watchable. Kind of drags a little bit, and just didn't excite me, to be honest. It was just okay. I saw the previews for it, and that was basically the whole show.
It was really exciting for me a couple times when somebody almost cut their hand off or drilled through their hand accidentally.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the thing that gets you with the show, you just have to look around the room and I can't believe somebody's doing this right now.
I mean, it's kind of the same reason why you watch NASCAR. Like, you watch this show for the moment where someone cuts their hand off, just like you watch NASCAR when there's a
You are
crash.
like a shitty person.
I'm just telling you, that's why people watch NASCAR, right?
No.
Is
Some
that how
people, apparently people like you do.
Okay, so why do people
Fucking
watch NASCAR,
crazy
James?
person over here.
Okay, so why do people watch NASCAR?
They don't watch it for the 300-mile-an-hour crash where everyone dies.
They certainly
totally
watch
do.
NASCAR for the crashes because that sport is boring as shit if there's no crashes.
Well, wait, time out. James, why do they watch it?
Yeah.
They watch it because, you want a place to go drink some beer and watch cars go around in a circle.
But they
James
watch it
is
for
from
the
Florida.
crashes.
The what?
They watch it for the crashes.
Max is getting to my point.
I don't think people are pissed when a crash happens, but I don't think people are going oh man, I'm going to see a big crash today.
So people in New York, New Jersey, and Seattle are definitely people watch NASCAR just to watch crashes. But what do people in Florida and Texas? What do they say why they watch NASCAR?
Well,
I think
it's
it might be
not
a
just
different
Florida.
answer.
I mean, it's the whole South.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I meant.
But
took a couple
I mean, it's
Florida,
about
home to
it's just about
Daytona.
cars and engines and drinking beer
Well,
and
I mean, I guess
being
there's, a
kind of
whole
redneck.
culture
I
around
guess
it, right?
I don't
I
know.
like
Like-
cars and engines. I don't like NASCAR.
Yeah,
So I think it's a
know.
cultural thing. People like cars and engines, and some of us go see Fast Six, and some of us go watch NASCAR.
Sure.
So isn't NASCAR based out of North Carolina or something? It's
Yeah,
based out of
Charlotte.
Charlotte or something, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like a whole cultural thing. It's you go and park your RV in the infield, you sit, and
Yeah.
you bring your camping chair on the roof of that thing.
It's like
and you,
the same thing as
drink
going
some
to a music
Budweisers
fest.
and you watch the crashes, right?
You don't watch the crashes.
I was trying
You
to slide
idiot.
that in.
You idiot. It's no different than going to a music fest than wherever else. It's the same thing. Go, you tailgate, you drink beer
I
in your
guess,
RV.
but the
that's
exciting
just
part,
what you do.
when you talk about what the exciting part is, what's the exciting part?
I like the part where they turn left.
It's a good
Oh
part.
man.
How did we get on that tangent?
We were talking about whether the show was good or not.
Oh,
So I'm gonna. I don't think I said yet. So I also feel like it was kind of middle tier because I wasn't watching it being I can't wait for the show to be over. But as soon as it was over, I didn't really want to watch anymore.
Yeah.
but the presence of Canada Tire really brought you in, right?
Canadian Tire wasn't.
Canadian Tires.
It's-
I
sucks
did
you
kind of
in.
like that. Another thing about Canadian shows is they try super hard to be Canadian during them and
Yeah.
throw things in. And other than just having a big Canadian Tire product placement, this show didn't really do that. So I kind of liked that.
Okay.
But yeah, I just felt that I wasn't really drawn into being I can't wait to see who's actually Canada's worst handyman. It's just
No.
okay, these guys are all pretty terrible, and And maybe some of their spouses are like not being nice to them by making them go on the show, but yeah, whatever.
I feel like it's like Tosh.0, but you took out Tosh, and it's just like, all right, here's people doing dumb shit for 30 minutes
So I
with
guess
power tools.
So I guess I'd watch a version of the show that is just Johnny and is like a webisode sort of thing, where it's like you watch like Johnny do stuff for like 10 minutes. I'd probably watch that.
I think the host needs to be more involved. 'Cause I feel like the host kind of hates his life.
I mean, like, what's that guy's name? Wes Mantooth. What's his name?
It's definitely not Wes Mantooth.
It's not Wes Mantooth.
Dude, you
What's
fucking
his name?
idiot.
I know what it is, but I want you to guess again.
John Laundryman. Something like that.
Keep it going. You're not even getting close, so
Should I
just
give
keep
him
rolling.
a hint or just make him guess?
Jeff,
No.
Jeff Lumberjack Town.
God, you're bad at this.
All
What you got? What else you got?
And-
Andrew, what?
Andrew Weatherman.
Sure, yeah.
Andrew Handyman.
It starts with a Y.
Andrew Youngblood. Is it Youngblood?
No, it's
You're
not.
close.
Young blood.
Young Money.
Andrew Young Money.
Young
You're
Lean.
close.
Oh man,
What costs a lot of money?
cars.
What else?
Andrew Young cars.
It's not Andrew Youngcar.
Oh no, Andrew.
Do we got an anagram to give him?
Yeah, can we get an anagram?
Jonas.
I got one.
Give it to us.
Hand bus.
It's John Handbus.
No, that's the anagram. So what do you got?
So his last name is an anagram for handbus.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, it's pretty
Yeah, it
close.
is.
Part of his last name was an anagram for handbus.
Young hand bus.
Young handbus.
His last name is an anagram for young handbus.
Oh man, there's no chance I'm gonna get this.
Like, see, that's what I'm saying. The anagrams are hard, man.
Hold on, can we write out handbus somewhere?
Do you
I
not?
don't think we got a
what
pen
are
anywhere.
you joking?
Do you know what it is, James?
What?
You know what handbus is anagram for?
Like husband or some shit?
It totally is.
Really, young husband?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's pretty
Fucking
good.
yeah. Suck my balls.
That's a crazy last name.
Young
to be
husband.
fair.
That's
Yo,
a
Harrison.
crazy name.
How to bust taste?
Great. Tastes like rubber.
Yeah, that's goddamn right.
Yeah.
Bask in it.
Basket of what?
It.
Robbins.
Would this show be better or worse if it was children and not adults?
Oh,
Oh my
much
god.
better. Way better.
What is wrong with you? You are also a terrible person
Canada's
now.
worst handyman junior.
Would this show
You
be
just want to
better
see
or
kids
worse
get killed.
if
They were all naked.
Jesus. Wait.
Worse.
Wait. You can't ask those questions in that order.
Yes, you can.
It's not okay.
Max got where I was going.
You can't ask that question. You can't do it in that order.
Would this show be
They're
better?
independent questions. They're not false.
I'm
or
sure there's
contradictory.
rules or laws or something that state you can't do that.
It's Johnny, but he's naked.
Right, that's why you have to ask the naked question before the naked kid question.
There was no naked kid question.
You said, are they kids, and then are they naked? And you can't ask those
Separate
questions like that.
They're not building on top of
You have to ask the naked question first, then the kid question.
Okay, the
Does that
naked
make it
question is
better?
first.
I think
What's
it makes
your
it
answer?
better. No. Neither.
Would this show be better if they were dating each other?
No.
I answered my own question
Why are you answering your own question?
because it was a bad question.
Would this show be better if Donald Trump was in it?
Obviously no, because
Is
he's
he-
a
Whoa,
fucking
is he-
terrible
Is he a
person.
handyman, or is he one of the people who nominated someone else?
In this case, I would hope he's a handyman.
Donald and Ivanka?
What if the host was Terrell Owens?
Okay.
Just making posters again.
Celebrity Canada's worst handyman.
Yeah.
What
be
if the
pretty
host was
good.
Tyrese?
I would totally watch Gilbert Gottfried try to build some shelves.
Celebrity Canada's worst handy.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
Do
one
they have
was
to be
the bird?
Canadian celebrities?
Is
Or
that
does it become
Gilbert
Celebrity
Gottfried?
America's
Shit.
worst handyman?
Celebrity America's worst handyman.
So it seems like this Canada's worst something is like a series of shows. There's also Canada's worst driver.
Which is also hosted by Young Husband.
Oh, Canada's worst driver is also hosted by Young
Yeah.
Husband?
His name is not. I thought it was Andrew Husband.
Andrew Young husband.
Oh, Andrew Young Husband.
It's a Young
It's not
Husband.
just Young Husband.
Young Husband's
He's
all
not
one
like
word.
some rapper.
What's up, young husband?
Young Husband.
Hosted by Young Husband.
Yeah.
Brr, 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 brr.
It's a really non-gangsta sounding name.
Yeah,
young
It's
husband.
really not.
It sounds like he's a really responsible guy.
Young
maybe.
husband in the house.
Or irresponsible. I don't know.
It's a name for someone who's grew up very religious. It's like, oh, gotta get married young, start the family. 90 Day Fiance.
Sure.
So why has the America's Worst whatever not become a thing?
I don't know.
It's just like America's Funniest Home Video is like the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
It's definitely not the
It's not even
same.
close.
Because you make a funniest video, you've won. You are the worst handyman or the worst driver, you've lost.
I feel like America's Worst Driver may actually be a thing, possibly spun off from Canada's Worst Driver.
Is that actually a show?
I cannot fact check that right now.
We'll have to look into this, and maybe we're going to be doing America's Worst Driver in a few weeks.
Maybe.
We'll see.
I'm not. I'm out for that one.
You're out for America's Worst Driver?
I'm out for worst whatever.
Should we nominate James as America's Worst Driver?
Yes.
Based on what? What did I do?
I don't know.
When's the last time you drove?
I don't know, a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I've ever been in a car with you driving, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't own a car currently.
You might be the worst driver then.
I feel like that's up for debate.
It's up for debate. That's why you got to go on the
That's why I
show.
go on the show.
We'll find
Why?
out. It's up for debate.
Hey, anytime, anywhere.
With Max, it's not up for debate. We're like, he's not the worst driver. With you, you've self-admitted it's up for debate.
Damn it. You've outwitted me in my
In your bathrobe?
sleepy state in my bathrobe.
How's the bathrobe treating you?
It's real cozy. I'm looking real cozy over here right now.
How
I'm
do
just going to be
bath taste?
podcasting in bathrobes every week now.
If I've learned anything on this trip, it's you need to always be robing.
Is that what you learned from the show? Always be Robin?
No, with this trip.
Oh, these are from the show.
I didn't learn shit from this show. This was a terrible show.
You didn't learn how to put up shelves?
No.
That's rough.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone learned how to put up shelves watching the show. You learned how to not put up shelves.
I mean, I feel like I learned a shelf building technique.
Describe to us the shelf building technique.
So you take like some piece of wood and you kind of have the wider side like flush with the wall, right? So you kind of have those like on either side of the wall. And then you have a nail that is twice as long as the thickness of that plank, and you nail it into the wall.
Yep.
And then you measure like a piece of wood to put on top of it, and then you put it on top of it, and then that's the shelf.
That was better than I thought you were going to do.
Pretty good,
job.
right? Pretty good.
Yeah.
So did you just never know how to build a shelf, or
I've never built a shelf in my life. I guess.
Gotcha.
Have you built a shelf?
Sure. Yeah.
What kind of shelf have you built?
I don't know. Shelf. Put some stuff up. Get some L brackets in there.
Oh, what
Did you sit on your shelf like young husband did?
Nah.
I mean,
gotta test it.
I don't know.
The shelves with cleats.
When you
are
hang like
very
a fucking
specific
weed whacker off of
situation.
it, it's good to go.
What?
When you hang like a piece of lawn equipment off of it, shelf done.
Why are you putting lawn equipment on a shelf?
A shelf?
It was in a
Seems
shed.
weird.
I don't know. You need a shelf in the shed.
That's a big shelf.
Yeah. It's a big shed.
Big shelf, big shit.
That's how you do it.
Oh man,
What else do you have to say about this show?
not much.
Fuck
Yeah.
it.
It's Canada. I don't know.
Canada.
Canada,
Fucking
you're
Canada's
better
cool, though.
than this.
I guess last question of the show. Do you want to watch more Canadian reality shows? After
No,
watching
not
this
at
show?
all.
So I watch a different one. I don't really want to watch more of this show.
I don't want to watch Canada's worst anything.
I agree with that.
So you're not down with the young husband,
Andrew, young husband?
Andrew, young husband?
He doesn't really do it for me.
He was just boring.
He didn't have a lot of airtime, really.
He's no Dan Ferraro.
He's a Jennifer.
I feel like young husband had some snark in him that he was trying to hold back. I
Yeah.
feel like you should just let it out.
Should have
I
embraced.
feel like
the
you should.
snark.
It should just been like him in these guys' faces like the whole time.
I feel like the whole time he's like looking at them and just wants to be like, "You are an idiot. What are you doing?" And he's like holding back.
You want like the Gordon Ramsay of Home Improvement in this
Exactly.
thing, is
Which
what you
that
want.
is a show. That is an American show.
What's it called?
I don't fucking know.
Should we watch that show?
Is that called Bar
come on.
Rescue?
It's basically like this dude rolls around and
On the
goes
floor?
to these like people that have hired a contractor to do something, build a garage or remodel the bathroom, whatever. and they just drag on, do really shitty work, pretty much never finish it. They're over budget, blah blah blah. And so they're bringing in this guy, and he's like the expert in this sort of thing. He's professional contractor, 30 years, blah blah blah, whatever. And then this guy just shows up and just kicks this guy's ass. So he just shows up, he sets up some cameras and looks at the thing, does some assessment. He's like, okay, I'm gonna give you an option, Mr. Contractor. You can either refund these people's money 100%, or you can work with me. I'm gonna make sure you do this thing right.
So why does this guy have the authority to give him those options?
Well, he's basically calling him out on like incomplete work and like doing all this shit.
No,
he
I know,
basically
but-
broke his contract.
No, I know, but like, why isn't the guy just like, hey, I'm just gonna keep doing what I've been doing, get off my...
Well, I think it's like there's some
Work
legal
site.
aspects of it where it's
Are they
he has
threatening them with
broken the
litigation?
contract outside of months of time and a lot of things.
Got it.
So it's probably like, hey, this is like, I'm sure there's more legitimate stuff behind the scenes that are happening there, but that's basically what happens when he rolls up.
Does the show ever be like, you can refund them 100%, or work with me and be like, okay, I'll refund them 100%, and that's the end of the show 5 minutes in?
Maybe. I don't remember. The one show I saw, he did not refund the money.
I feel like none of the shows.
That's probably
they do that. It's
most
a
of the
bad show
time.
when they do that.
You're really bad
Right.
show.
It's just like, all right, here's the money.
And
Yeah.
credits.
Roll the credits. It's a short week, guys.
It's on the DVR. It's like, this is 3 minutes. What's
Yeah.
going on?
Oh, man. But then, yeah, the rest of the show is just him just yelling at people.
So
it's
it's
like,
a-
you don't even know how to fucking mix cement.
So it's a Gordon Ramsay type
Yeah,
character.
for sure.
Okay.
He's like, get over here. I'm going to show you how to make cement right now. It's like, okay.
That seems like what the show's missing.
Yeah.
Yup.
Young husband, you got to step it up.
Yeah. And this dude's just
We're
yelling at
calling you
people.
out.
It's like, you need to go back to contractor school immediately.
Yeah, I feel like Canadians are too nice to do that though. Like Canadians are pretty nice in general, I think.
Might be true.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's fair.
I wouldn't be able to say who's the Canadian Gordon Ramsay.
So I guess you have to bring in like a Brit.
There's not even
to
really an American Gordon
take
Ramsay.
care of
for that
business.
fact.
Yeah, you have to kind of bring in a Brit to just take care of business, right?
Yeah, that's what American Idol did. That's what the Gordon Ramsay Fox Network empire did.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, fair. I don't know what I got on this show.
So that's the show.
What do we do next time?
All right, next week, and Chris might be real angry about this. We're going with
Yeah,
it.
we just fucking...
Host ain't here.
The host dead.
We're going back to the FYI network, who did us right with Married at First Sight, and we're watching Epic Meal Empire. Here's the description. With more than 600 million views in weekly webisodes and over 6 million YouTube subscribers to date, Harley Morenstein, a.k.a. the Sauce Boss.
Whoa. His name is the Sauce Boss?
Yep.
Already excited.
All right, great. Keep rolling.
And his kitchen crew are ready for primetime television. From whiskey-laced burger-stuffed lasagnas to donut casseroles to Jack and Coke cupcakes, the Epic Mealtime team delivers recipes that are visually mind-blowing spins on food preparation and presentation. This new FYI series will follow the ingenious group as they invent spectacular new dishes on a whole new epic level. Epic Meal Empire.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Can't wait.
So I've seen one episode of this, and it was bad in a great way.
But it
All
seemed
right.
like it was kind of self-aware. They sort of knew that it was like that.
They're probably like, yay, more money. Give it
Yeah.
to us.
Yeah.
They must be self-aware, especially what's his name again?
Harvey Morgenstern?
Harley Morenstein, just is saying ridiculous things and staring into the camera the whole time. So I think it's gonna be pretty good.
So these guys are Canadian too.
Are they?
I believe that these guys are Canadian.
We'll fact check that for next week.
We'll check that.
We'll fact check that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One each week, a new fact to check
One
it.
each week, a new one.
Each week.
Each
each
week,
week.
there is a new one.
Uh-oh.
All right, Max, you got any plugs?
You can find me on Twitter at Boston Pizza.
Boston Pizza.
James?
Nah.
No plugs this week?
He's got nothing.
Got
Harrison?
nothing. I'm on Twitter at Harrison Hoffman.
I'm on Twitter at @RobKitz, and Who Put This On is on Twitter at Who Put This On, and it's on Facebook at facebook.com/Who Put This On. There's an email address, whoputthison@gmail.com. So if you have ideas for Canadian reality shows, American reality shows, or anything else?
Or Australian reality shows, or really anything.
Oh, we should totally watch the Australian Border Patrol show.
Oh, is that okay? What is that
Whoa.
show? What is that show?
There's who do they border?
What does that mean when you say that?
It's a goddamn island.
Yeah,
It's just international
Like,
water.
Yeah, but it's-
airport.
yeah, but they still have borders.
The water? What the shit are you talking about? Is that the show just them bordering the
James,
Coast Guard?
Let me ask you a couple questions. Question 1. Is it possible for you to go to Australia?
Yeah, you fly there.
Question 2. When you go to Australia, do you have to check with any officials before you just like roll into Australia?
Nope.
I don't know. They seem pretty friendly.
So you just like fly there, plane lands, you just run off the plane and into the arms of a kangaroo, and that's it.
I mean,
Or a koala.
Or a koala.
Oh,
Or a drop bear.
continue.
I don't really have
Wallaby?
much.
Wallaby?
So is it just airport patrol? Like, it sounds like a real dumbass show.
Yeah, there are people at airports that are patrolling borders. That's how
But
that works.
it's not a border.
It is
It
a border.
is.
It's like an air border.
Yes, that's how that works.
No, if they were bordering the air, that'd be way more exciting.
Borders go vertically up.
Yeah, but if they were stopping people mid-air, that would be way exciting. This is just like fucking airport customs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to watch that bullshit. Hey, let's look at this guy. He's standing in line for the next 4 hours. How you feeling today? Yeah, pretty shitty. All right, well, welcome to Australia. That's what that show is.
I've watched one episode of this show. Some ridiculous shit goes down of people like smuggling weird things in and getting
Like-
turned away, and before they get turned away, coming up with ridiculous excuses.
Like what kind of what kind
I
of
want-
weird stuff?
He doesn't want to ruin it.
You don't
I
wanna
want to
ruin
ruin
it?
it.
See, I want to ask how many things are being smuggled up their butt.
That's such a
Nothing up
long
their butt.
flight. It's such a long flight that whatever you got up your butt.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to be committed.
Holy shit. I don't even know what that flight would like Seattle would be. 15 hours?
Forever.
What, 5-10 years?
Not everyone on the show might be coming from Seattle. They
Yeah,
might
but I
be coming
mean,
from
you know,
New
it's a
Zealand.
reasonable
New
frame
Zealand's
of
pretty
reference.
close to Australia.
Well,
Sure.
yeah, but they'll just take a boat or something, can't they?
Maybe there's border patrol on the boat.
Yeah, it's called a Coast Guard.
It's not called the
Again, a
Coast Guard.
different show.
In other countries, it's not called the Coast Guard.
What are they guarding? They're guarding the coast. It's not like a U.S. thing.
The Coast Guard is a U.S. thing.
Really? The other countries
Yes.
don't have Coast Guards?
No.
How the hell does Canada border their borders?
They have
The
border
water
patrol,
borders.
which comes back to Max's original point.
Canada's definitely got to have a Coast Guard.
It's not called the Coast
I
Guard.
mean,
Who the hell like saves people when they're like people drowning?
they probably have something that
Her
that has a similar
Majesty's Royal
function,
Navy.
but it's not called Coast Guard.
It's like Canadians Royal Air Force is the Coast Guard.
I don't think that that's what it is, but
I don't know. It seems like it's Canadian Air Tires or whatever the first
it's
one
probably
was.
Canadian Air Tires.
it's definitely Canadian Air Tires.
Is that the store? That's not the store.
That's definitely the store.
Canadian Air Tires? That can't be it. That doesn't sound right.
So
Something about that doesn't sound right.
anyone listening to this who thinks that's wrong, make sure you tweet at CanesJ3 and let him know what you think the right name is.
What the right name of Canadian Air Tires is, or the Canadian Coast Guard?
Both.
Either.
Also, the Australian Coast Guard.
All of them.
Really, just whether or not other countries have Coast Guards, they gotta.
I mean, again, they have some kind of unit that does that thing, but it's not called a Coast Guard. In a lot of cases, I think.
What are they guarding then?
It's not that their function's different, it's just not what the name
What are
of
they,
it
the
is.
Land Guard?
Okay, I think that's going to be it for this week.
All right, dropping.
Peace.
How the bus tastes.
Until next week.